Did you get to see the cricket match last night?
I went to sleep after watching the cricket match. It was the kind of cliffhanger I fear we may well have in one of the states.
It's the only thing that was in my mind. You know, this match is going down to the last ball, last over. Who's going to be Kieron Pollard today? I think that is the critical question. What a cliffhanger that was.
Terrific. 8 overs, they needed 120 runs. But today, nothing is impossible. And, you know, if the BJP wins Bengal, it's a bit like scripting a victory which few would have even imagined even 5 years ago when the BJP won just 3 seats. On the other hand, if Mamata Banerjee, for example, wins Bengal, it shows that, you know, there are some politicians who are durable street fighters who will fight for every inch. So I think that's the contest people will look out for. But in the south, you could have Rahul, Vijayan script history in Kerala. You could have Stalin, finally the sunrise. Assam could be a state which could see possibly a tougher fight than we expected. And even tiny Puducherry. Lots at stake in each of these states.
To build on that cricket analogy, it's like Mamata Banerjee is coming to bowl. She's bowled hard and she's bowled fast. Now, Kieron Pollard, think of him as Amit Shah, has smacked the ball hard. He's hit it high. It's currently in the air above the Bay of Bengal. This could fall on the other side of the boundary, and if it does, BJP will be clapping, celebrating like the Mumbai Indians were last night. If it gets caught out at long on, then it will look like, oh my God, so close and yet so far.
What if Mamata Banerjee is Kieron Pollard? You know, the entire system has been against her. She's got everyone range. The odds were stacked against her, in a sense, in the last few months. And yet, if she wins, she could be Kieron Pollard. So, you know, who's going to be Kieron Pollard is a good way to look at today.
Okay, we want to go across to some of our reporters joining us this morning. We have Palami Saha at the BJP headquarters in Kolkata. She's been in Kolkata and West Bengal through the last 6 months, tracking this election very, very closely. Palami, give our viewers a sense of the mood, because on the one side, you've got a big election, a lot rides on the results. On the other hand, you've got COVID, the need to ensure that you stay neutral in victory and in defeat both, and not to ensure that there are wild, rapturous celebrations. What's the mood like in Kolkata this morning?
Well, obviously, Rahul, good morning to you and Rajdeep. There has been a lot of anticipation. It's heavy and it's hanging in the air over here as far as the results are concerned. Yes, you speak to every citizen of this state, every resident of this state, and they are waiting in anticipation to know which way this election has finally gone, given that it has been such a long, drawn-out election battle right from the campaigning onwards. Then, of course, the all-month-long election in the month of April, starting March 27th. So they're waiting to find out the results. But yes, also what they're talking about is COVID, because the numbers of COVID in the state of Bengal are going up rapidly, especially in the city of Kolkata. The people are worried. You saw that, in fact, play out in the voter turnout in Kolkata. Kolkata North was what voted last in the 8th phase, and it saw pretty dismal turnout as compared to other districts that were polling on the same day, like Malda, like Murshidabad. So clearly what they want is a decisive victory today, no cliffhanger, a decisive victory, and whichever government comes in, they want them to make COVID their first big priority in order to curtail the numbers which are spiking in the state of Bengal.
Right, Palomi, you stay safe. You've got a long day ahead. And that's something that we want to tell all our correspondents to please stay safe, all well masked up. I'm also joined by Gopi Krishnan Unnithan, who joins me from Thiruvananthapuram. Gopi, you know, Kerala is a state that wakes up early. You and I had the privilege of having breakfast early morning and going to the temple and other places across Kerala. But today could be a historic day, because the exit polls have suggested Pinarayi Vijayan coming back with a big majority. There is talk that he's already planning on a swearing in as early as tomorrow. What's the buzz out there? Is there any truth to that the Chief Minister of Kerala is already planning on a swearing in on Monday and get back to COVID duty?
Very good morning, Rajdeep. As you rightly pointed out, it's going to be a very anxious Monday here in Kerala. And coming to this very important point that you just raised regarding Chief Minister swearing in yesterday, during the last press conference of first Pinarayi Vijayan cabinet, we the journalists, we asked him this question, and he said that there is no such direction that he has given. That is the official word that has come out from Chief Minister. But we are assuming that if it's the LDF that is going to come back to power, maybe we will get the final result, the end result by late today evening. If that happens, it is most likely that there will be a swearing-in ceremony that will happen tomorrow, because the COVID cases are on the rise. It continues to be on the rise in the state. Even yesterday, we had over 35,000 COVID cases being reported in the state of Kerala. So certainly that is something that needs to be looked into. And also in the last week's press conference, Pinarayi Vijayan made it clear that from Tuesday, that is day after tomorrow, there will be stringent restrictions in the state. For the state government to take some policy decisions, they will certainly need a chief minister and a couple of cabinet ministers who are formal ministers and not in-charge ministers, like what happened after the elections and between the poll results. Talking about the poll mood, every front looks confident in Kerala. Even as we, even after our exit polls, the UDF leader and the opposition leader Ramesh Chennithila, he sounded very confident in saying that when the results are finally announced, it's going to be the UDF that's going to win. And Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and company at the left, they are also extremely confident of a 100+ result this time.
Actually, instead of good morning, said namaskaram. And I should have asked you what you're having for breakfast, whether that lovely idiyappams that you gave me should have been part of my breakfast this morning. But stay well again, Gopi. You also have a very long day ahead.